time after time, I see a guy who has been a gentleman, who's been very nice, very pleasant. In fact, the first guy, I thought he was really cool guy, and all of a sudden, he's labeled, I think we're more friends. Right.
Yeah.
Bro, we just said that.
Oh my God.
We just said that, bro. Hey, what's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy KiteZz here. My lovely wife is just Alex.
What's up, peoples?
Hey, today we're checking out Girls Girl. Let's talk about it. What BM talked to them.
Who?
I guess he came back with the viral contestants from episode 61, where they had the conversation about the hair, and that was like a big thing on social media. So let's see what they talk about. Let's see how they break this down.
Yeah, hit a YouTube news channel.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to videos. Let's see how it go.
Hey.
All right, welcome back to BM Talk to Them. So today we
need to move.
Oh, we always gotta move.
Yeah.
It's a person missing.
Yeah. Where the main
So Sandy ain't gonna show up?
Oh.
have KiteZz, Tercy, and Rebel all joining us. They was on episode 61, which was a very talked about episode. Everybody was talking about it. So welcome guys. How you all feeling?
Good.
Feeling good.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm excited for this.
I think it's been interesting. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
We
so
know you excited,
I
Rebel.
guess I'm just gonna jump straight into it. Because obviously your episode was talked about a lot, and I will have to say that I give people an opportunity to come on a platform. I give a lot of people opportunity to come on this platform. So if you don't see some people come on the platform that you want to see on the platform, just know that I gave them the opportunity to come on. So if you see them come on, then they obviously wanted to come on. Now, let's start with this viral moment.
Okay, so basically all that was summed up to say, hey, we invited Sandy.
She declined.
She declined. She didn't want to pop out. That's on her. At the end of the day, if you don't show up to defend what you said, then hey, you gotta hold that, little sis. You gotta hold that.
Oh, that's crazy.
That went viral, right? The hair comment. Tercy, can you explain to us what you meant when you said what you said?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually just what I meant when I said it, which was, I prefer longer hair. And, you think about just people day to day in our lives, we have things that we choose, aka our preferences, through almost all assets, the music we listen to, the clothes we wear, the things we do, the people we hang around, right? So it's no different in the dating dynamic in the fact that this is potentially one of the most important decisions I'm going to make, right? So if I'm in this genuinely to find someone that I'm connecting to, I have to do what suits me, because my actions have consequences and I have to be accountable for the decisions I make. So if I'm going to pick someone that I ultimately want to invest time into and get to know, I don't want to have any regrets about what I chose.
Okay.
And so I do feel that comment I made was just what it was. It was nothing malicious. There was no malintent. It was just essentially, it's just not what at the time I was, feeling or attracted to.
Okay. He's not wrong. Even in the video we said he got a right to his preference. So he's not wrong. He said what he had to say. He said how he felt. He said what he wanted. I think the main reason why he got more pushback was what he wanted was kind of vague, because he didn't expand more in the episode, but rightfully so, because he got into that whole situation with Sandy, which is ironic because she's not here.
He couldn't expand on it.
Yeah. Because she was cutting him off. She wasn't letting him finish.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I understand. It's his preference for sure. So, I think we said it on the podcast. Sandy chose to make an argument that any other time the argument would have been something that like people can contend, but the problem was he did not apply to anything in the argument she was trying to bring up.
Yeah, I think a lot of people got really invested in her outrage to his comment and kind of just went along with that, and it led to other amounts of assumptions that he didn't even get to speak on.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Actually, so Tercy, let me ask you a question, right? When you made that comment, was you saying that you don't like weave or you don't like, you know, any type of extensions? Or was you just saying that you just don't like short hair in general?
Well, I shouldn't say I didn't like hair. I didn't say anything about not liking something, right? So I just said I, prefer longer hair, which is not to say you don't like something, right? Both can exist at the same time. So just because I like something more, prefer something more, right? Given the choice, I'm going to take that. However, doesn't mean that I would never date someone that has short hair. It's just because I'm getting my opportunity to sort of pick, this is what I'm going to go for.
Okay. So in the episode, it can be very easily hinted that he didn't like short hair.
I don't know. What if he saw me tomorrow? I had short hair. I just wasn't a fan of it. It wasn't giving that you were like accepting of her for who she was. And I feel like if you can say that to her, you can say it to me. So I had to pop.
Yeah, you gotta go that way.
Well, we're here to give a first impression, right? So I'm going off of my first impression. So if you're not wearing your hair short, then you have nothing to worry about, right?
Yeah. So it's easy for people to hear that and believe you don't like short hair.
Okay. All right. And Rebel, when he made that comment, how did you feel at the time?
Yeah, well, one thing is, since you just asked him if he doesn't like weaves, I don't have a weave. It is my natural hair. But
Rebel, what the freak are you that had nothing to do with you. Obviously, what the freak are we talking about? Nobody thought you had weave at all.
Yeah.
None of that ever applied to you at all, gay.
weaves, I don't have a weave. It is my natural hair. But when he made that comment, in that moment, I was just, we're filming this episode. I was like, I knew that there was a chance someone was going to say something to me that wasn't, that was something they weren't into about me. When it happened, I was kind of just like, nice, it's over with, let's keep it moving. That's kind of what was going on in my head.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And Akisu, how do you feel about that comment when you first heard about it?
Well, for me, I told myself that going into the show, I wanted to really like hear what people were saying instead of like seeing them and then judging them off rip. So I feel like after I heard that statement, for me, it just didn't leave me with the best first impression. And that's made me pop my balloon.
Okay.
Why is that?
Because I know like a lot of people come on this show and they feel like it's okay to say comments that may hurt someone's feelings. And I didn't see Rebel's YouTube video, so I don't know if she like spoke about her background with like having shorter coily hair.
Yeah, she made like 3 videos, like 2-3 videos.
First off, he didn't say any comment to hurt anybody's feelings. Let's keep it a band. Like, we don't have to like the comment, but he didn't say anything to hurt anybody's feelings. He just said what he preferred, which is his right. Now, Rebel does not have short hair. We said this in the video as well. She has coily shrinkage. It's shrinkage, basically. If you take her hair and you get a flat iron and you flat iron it straight, that hair is probably past her shoulders. So it's like, this is also one of the things people pointed out is because shrinkage is a thing. So when he's saying, I prefer longer hair, because shrinkage is a factor, you don't
actually know the length of her hair.
Right. And Alex pointed that out in the video. You don't know the actual length. So if he wants something that it presents like it's long, then that's perfectly fine. But her hair is not short by any means.
Yeah.
even for it to be that length while coiled up, that tells you her hair is pretty long. You get what I'm saying? So she doesn't have short hair.
People usually come on the show and think like that's okay. And I feel like for me, I wanted to be mindful in regards to how I was censoring my opinions on others because I don't know how they're going to take it and internalize it. And I just felt like I feel like as well looking for a partner, I would like for them to think about things that same way. So that's why when I heard it, I was just like this is a no, and I popped.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
He could have said it a lot worse.
So
that could have made it more offensive or made it more personable to where that it felt like he was trying to hurt her feelings, but I don't think that's what he was doing.
He definitely could have said it in a way that would have been like, if your hair ain't here, then like you're not good. Like he could have said it crazy. He didn't say it crazy. Like I said, he was a victim in a battle that he never signed up to be in because he never actually was a participant in the battle. He was just a casualty of it. So it sucks for him, man.
He had a preference.
Right.
He didn't say that he doesn't like weave or he doesn't like, wigs or anything like that. He just said he prefers longer hair. There's nothing wrong with what he said. Now, I feel like us people like to bring the race card. Mm-hmm. So why is it that when a man has a preference,
was weave brung up in the what he keep bringing up the wig and weave thing. I don't remember that being talked about on the episode.
It wasn't, but I feel like people innately, like when people hear like, oh, I don't like this when it comes to black people's hair or black women's hair or black men's hair, they innately go to that. Oh. So the wigs and the weave thing, not everybody, not all black people just wear wigs and weaves.
Yeah.
Like wigs and weaves, extensions, that's a universal thing. Every race wears them.
Every race wears it.
Every race wears them. So it doesn't even, so whoever keeps bringing up the wigs and the weave thing, like in the you're moving the goalpost.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking about wigs and weave. He said something about, he specified that he does not like short hair. He does not prefer short hair. He prefers longer hair.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where the wigs weave thing.
And I think he was speaking in terms of natural, but
yeah.
A lot of women get offended by that. But when why is it that when a man has a preference, a lot of women get offended by that? But when you women say, oh, I don't like locks, I don't like
braids,
men
with hair,
balls,
longer hair on a man,
that
men shouldn't get offended. Men should just take it as it is. But when it's women, it's like you can't say that. Can you ladies try to explain
He's
to
100% right.
What the difference with preferences between a man and a woman is?
Yep. He's 100% right, because in that same episode, they got on him for not wanting a woman with shorter appearing hair. They rejected the dude because he was bald in that same episode. So it is a double standard. It is.
Yeah, it is.
Y'all say y'all don't like the locks. Y'all don't like this. Y'all rejected brother because his hair was too short. Y'all rejected. We've seen men get rejected because they had a fade and they don't like fades. Like, it's like, so it is a double standard for sure.
And now I'm going to tell you the difference. When it comes to women, what applies to us may not apply to y'all. What applies to y'all still don't apply to us. So it's like it's a tug of war. It doesn't really matter. Even if the winning argument is, well, women do this, so men should be able to do this, rightfully so. But that's just, I don't know. It's different for some women. They just don't want to hear that. They don't care. They'd rather not deal with it. And I don't know. I feel like when it comes to, I guess, like fashion, hair sense, and this, that, other, and the third, because women dominate that area, that industry, that niche, it just seems like whenever men bring it up, it's kind of like y'all just got to take it. Y'all just got to take it. I don't agree with it.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll go first. After I'm sorry. I just want to say, Tercy, like, you're allowed to have your preference. And like, after watching the show, I definitely sat back and like thought about it more. And men and women have their preferences, and I may have some preferences that people would hear and they would like shame me as well. So honestly, like, for me as a Black woman, if I hear certain preferences, it could make me just think twice or make me feel uncomfortable. For example, if he was to see me in a braid out, or if I was to take my wig off, my hair would look just like Rebel's, you know? So, and I'm trying to speak for like myself here. It's like I would put myself in her shoes in that situation, and I wouldn't have liked if I heard that. So I really hate the fact that there is a double standard on preferences, and I don't really want to try to answer for all of America, but America, yeah, I get what I'm trying to say. But I just feel like I just feel like
it's an American thing.
What point was I trying to make?
The problem is this point, right? And this is the same thing I said towards Sandy. The problem with this is this can be valid in a completely different discussion. The point of uncomfortable about the comments about Black women's hair, that is an issue that should not be attached to preference, because preference is subjective. You can't control everybody's preference. Is not going to be the same. So him having a preference should not have any effect on you. The problem is people are kind of ignoring this sensitivity in the US specifically comes from what happens in the US to Black women. And that's why I said I understood what Sandy was trying to say. And a lot of people got mad that I said that, but I live in Cali. We have the Crown Act. The Crown Act is an entire act dedicated to protecting Black women for the discrimination and abuse that they've had towards their hair. And that's the thing a lot of people don't know from other countries. A lot of people don't know from even other states, because some states don't have a Crown Act. So there has been a bad target on Black women's hair. They face a lot of discrimination. They face bullying. They face a lot of things based off their hair. The problem is his preference is not a part of that bullying, all that. It's just it's his personal appearance, like his personal desire. You feel me? He doesn't have to like shrinkage. He doesn't have to like hair down to their butt. It's what he likes. But I get what she's trying to say. It's just, like I said before, it's a good battle to make, but this is not the battlefield you need to make it on. Because this has nothing to do with the battle you're making.
I feel like it's, for me, I would just be mindful on what to and to not say.
So when women say they want a taller man, should they also be mindful of what they should say?
I feel like
Well, you got it.
I have some thoughts. So here's how I interpreted the whole thing, watching it back. I feel like the comment on my natural hair was taken harshly because, like, it's something that I feel like for so long, women of African descent have been, like, changing about themselves to make it more Eurocentric. I do know Tercy did not say he doesn't like, textured curly hair, but I think the short comment may have been like equated to him saying he doesn't like natural textured hair. And where I think that's different from height is that height is not Afrocentric.
Nah, because there's a lot of, the height stigma does get attached to Black people a lot. Yes. It is something that's attached. It goes beyond just European cultures. Like, we had this whole dilemma with the Yasuke, the Black Samurai thing. And one thing is, Yasuke was fantasized, idolized, and discriminated also because Yasuke was taller than the average Japanese man. But the thing is, a lot of the conversations and surprise came from the fact that when he was speaking to people, and people were learning about Yasuke, to him, his height was regular, his build was regular, everything was regular. But to the Japanese culture, it was abnormal, it was freakish, it was demonic, it was all that. So it's like there is a lot of stereotypes that do get attached. Now the whole height thing, I don't care how anybody feels. If you feel like you have a right to have a preference against men in their height, then men should be able to have that preference on what type of whatever that they want. Because it's at the end of the day, if you're gonna defend preference, you have to defend preference all the way around.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing because you're talking about hair and it's natural, and you're talking about men in their natural height.
Exactly. Natural, yeah. Like I said before, but the argument she tried to make, once again, that comes from the Crown Act thing. And like I said, this is a great talking point, but bringing it to height and preference and stuff like that, it ruins the talking point.
Like anyone of any race can be short or tall, but the curly and textured is more specific to, being Black. So that's how I kind of took it, and where I saw that people may be offended, largely in that we've been changing it for so long. So an equivalent for men, I do think, would be telling a man that we don't like his natural textured hair.
At the end of the day, it's preference. We got to remember preference. Like, I think we need to define what preference is, right? Preference is a greater liking for one alternative over another or others, a prior right or precedence, especially in connection with payment of debts. All right, that's the law version of it. But preference is a greater liking for one alternative over another. So it's like, you can't get mad that somebody likes something more than something else, right? We can't get mad if I like apples, Alex likes oranges. She can still eat apples, but she prefers oranges. And I'm like, bro, like, the system told you that you like oranges though. Like, you feel what I'm saying? You really should like you can't do that. That's just what he desires, right? But what she's talking about is not built around preference. It's this. Yeah, they're talking about this, right? Now, it's a Crown Act, which stands for creating a respectful and open world for natural hair, is a legislative initiative aimed to prohibit race-based hair discrimination, especially protects individuals from being discriminated against due to their hair texture or hairstyles, including protective styles like braids, locks, and twists in contexts like employment or education, right? We had to get this as Black people because our, especially women, their hair is targeted. Black men, we get targeted with the locks. That's why we have to do such casual styles now, waves and stuff like that, which are cool styles. But if Black men really wanted to experiment and do more with their hair, we do get looked at differently than other races. So this is a good argument. It's not for this argument.
Hey.
Go ahead.
No, you got it.
What?
No, I'm processing.
Oh, okay.
So when a woman says they don't like locks, that doesn't matter?
Well, so I
honest.
don't know how the women would have felt if he said he didn't like weave, or if he said he didn't like locks on a woman.
That's not the
That's
question.
not the question.
I don't know how they would have felt. Of course, like for me, I guess I should let KiteZz speak, because
That's not the question.
in the moment, like I said, I didn't think too much of it.
So, okay, so if a man is bold and a woman says, you're bold, right? And men don't go and wear weave. So he has to deal with it.
Well,
You feel me?
correct. It's 2025. Some do.
And shout out to those that do. That's your business. That's your money. That's your hair. That's what you want to do. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in that situation, it's natural that he's bold. Now, a woman makes a comment saying, I don't like bold guys.
Yeah.
Can you guys explain that?
So from my perspective, I thought that this was a problem because it's tied to the African American
We're not talking.
descent.
We're not
We're not
Rebel.
answering the question.
Rebel. He's asking you as a woman, why is it okay for us to say that we do not like bald men or men with locks or men with braids or men with any type of hairstyle as our preference, and we can get away with it scot-free with no
Backlash.
rebuttal, no nothing. Versus when a man says he likes his preference as such, it's a problem. And it becomes number one topic on social media.
They're not.
That's what he's asking.
I feel like the problem is they're not going to answer the question because
accountability is hard.
Oh.
We got to be honest when we're having these conversations. What are we talking about? This conversation and the way that we communicate as men and women didn't just pop up out of nowhere. This didn't come an issue because of episode 61. This has always been an issue.
Yeah.
So we got to answer it.
Yep.
I thought that this was a problem because it's tied to the African American descent, whereas being bald is not. Like I said, commenting on something that is Afrocentric that men try to change to make look more Eurocentric, then I think it would be a problem.
Huh?
I guess my question.
She was processing it while she was saying it.
I think okay. I feel like she needs to drop the Afro Eurocentric thing.
Yeah.
Because it's basically asking, why is it okay for you guys to say you don't like dreads or bald, but it's not okay for a guy to say he likes long or no weave or weave? That's the basic of the question. We're making it too think PC.
Yeah.
And the problem is, it's like African descent has hair textures from all over.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, African descent have hair textures from. I think there's a whole. There's like multiple tribes where their custom is to shave their hair, and they wear their hair shaved for generations. So it's like that is African descent. That's culture right there. So it's like
there's Africans that actually have just straight hair, bone hair.
Yeah.
So I don't think the texture is the problem. I think it goes back to when you made the comparison to apples to oranges. I feel like innately, as people, when you hear somebody say something that you normally don't like, you grow a dislike towards that person because they like something that you dislike.
Don't like. Right.
So I don't know. I could be stretching there, but
Question is, why do you automatically think that he's talking about the African descent? Why do you think that? Couldn't he just be talking about hair? Because it seems like he was just making a comment about he just likes longer hair. Like, he's not saying he doesn't like weave or any type of extensions. He wasn't saying none of that. All he was saying is just that I just prefer longer hair. So why do we always make it a something to do with, black people?
I think it just has to do with the state of her hair and like the coiliness and the natural state of her hair that it was in the moment. I feel like maybe differently if she had like a Nia Long pixie cut, an Amber Rose buzz cut blonde, and he said it's short, I would be like, okay, well, like she has short hair. Like they purposely manipulated their hair to be short. So if that's what he doesn't like, but this is like genetically like her, and a lot of black women resemble the state that she was in too.
Her hair's not. Here's what I'm not jacking. This makes everything go backwards because her hair's not short. So it's just like this, to me, her arguments making this is doing more damage towards Rebel than what she's realizing, because Rebel's hair is not short.
He also rejected women that had longer hair than Rebel's.
Yes. So it's like this is they're both in just two different conversations right now. BM is asking a question. She went to Antigua and she went to Guatemala, and they both just went in just different directions. Like, and he asked you to go to Jamaica. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, y'all just completely gone.
So I feel like in that moment, that's why it was an issue.
So I guess you kind of all understand now, like, in the moment, it's completely different to how it comes out. So in a moment, everybody, you're all agreeing with each other, like, yeah, this is what he said. It affected a lot of people the way it did. But watching it back now, do you understand the difference? And do you kind of understand what he was saying now? Like, he wasn't coming at you ladies because of what you thought, but he was just saying that he just preferred longer hair. Do you ladies understand that now?
I can say, like, when I just saw the clip that went viral of just the comment on my hair, again, I didn't think much of it. When I watched the entire episode, I think I just felt a lack of empathy in that I don't think there was ever one compliment given, but many were given to him. And I think for me, that's more where I just kind of thought, yeah, that's not my style.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait. So, okay, so a lot of the women gave him compliments. He didn't give them back. And that's what she's calling him out for?
What does that have to do with hair?
I think she's trying to make the argument that, like, after she watched it, he had nothing positive to say. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say he didn't, but she's saying in her perspective of watching it, he had nothing positive to say about the women on the panel. So maybe that makes her think that he wasn't attracted to any of the women on the panel in general. And that's why he said his statements. I don't know. That didn't make sense to me. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me, y'all. If y'all can explain it, go ahead.
Okay. I say something? Yeah, so I think what is interesting and what I'm hearing is, we're on a dating show, and the decisions we're making directly are going to affect, us, right? So, I guess I'm confused as to why come on a dating show and allow for the thinking of others to influence your decision that doesn't directly correlate to you, right? So I completely understand everything about, how you can maybe perceive or take something some way and think that is to the masses. It's interesting because I'm Nigerian, people were saying Becky's and thinking I date white women. I've never had a white girlfriend, which is even, funnier when I'm reading.
I'll take the L then. He ain't never dated a white woman. I'm a grown man. I can take the L. I'll hold that.
Reading the comments. So it would have made more sense had you asked, well, why don't you, like, if you thought I said didn't like, short hair, which I never said, it would have made more sense to me had you asked the question as to why don't I, to clarify, for yourself. Because for me, if I ever want information, I'm not going to base it on others, because I'm going to get the information for myself, because the decision that I'm going to make is going to directly impact me. So I think it's interesting that, for many of the ladies that were on the show, you all are going off of, how you think someone else may have felt, or you're projecting those feelings onto yourself that doesn't have anything to do with you.
Yep, I say it all the time. What apply to you may not apply to somebody else.
I can speak for myself to say, and in the nicest way possible, I didn't think it was necessary to continue asking questions due to the fact that, like, initially I wasn't really I wasn't really attracted to you. Like, not in a mean way or anything like that, but like.
Okay.
Wait, so I'm not attracted to you, but I need to be able to comment on what you're not attracted to, though. And I need to make us, like, I don't, this is just sounding like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not attracted to you, but I'm still going to be able to stand up and say, I don't like that you're not liking this. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, because earlier it was stated that you wanted to do something different and give people a chance instead of prejudging them based off of X, Y, and Z. But the comment that he said was strong enough for you to pop and not be attracted to him, but still ask him questions
I don't know
on his preference.
Like I said, like the age was kind of already not a red flag, but something I wasn't a fan of. Then, your style preference, that's you, but that wasn't something that caught my eye. And then to hear you say that comment, I just think I didn't really find it necessary to want to continue hearing anything else that you had to say, because at that point it was something that I made up
Wasn't able to say a lot.
I made my decision on. Now, if maybe there were other factors to where I felt like, okay, let me try to question and hear him out, I feel like I probably would have posed a question. But for me, I just didn't find it necessary to continue to ask a question.
I wouldn't either after Sandy. I would have been exhausted.
Right. But then, for me as well, if you're not initially attracted to me, then why even try to defend a comment that I made for someone else? I would assume if you're not attracted to me, then let that be it. You're not attracted, and just squash it there. How does you going from not being attracted to me end up you having to state a bunch of other additional reasons, right? That again wasn't made towards you, have no impact on you.
Let me actually jump in there as well. I want to speak about this issue that we have in our community. Being a girl's girl, what is all this girls stuff? Because I feel like a lot of you women are saying that you're a girl's girl, and that is what's keeping you women single.
Talk about it.
I don't know if I would say I feel like this is something that reflected me being like a girl's girl.
So what I mean by that, right?
Technically, I don't know, because here's my thing. I don't like the sisterhood or the brotherhood when it comes to black people dealing with black people. I don't like when black men unify to go against black women and black women unify to go against black men, because it becomes this whole us versus them. Mm-hmm. And the problem with the black culture is we have been so divided. We are not understanding that that's what everybody wants, is us to never unify.
Yep. So
when we do the sisterhood and we do the brotherhood versus each other, it's not helping us as a culture, right? As I'm speaking for African Americans. It's not helping us as a culture. But I also understand, it's like, I get if he would have came on there being disrespectful to black women and he was disrespecting another woman, just going crazy, talking his talk, oh, you this, blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop, I wouldn't be mad if other women helped defend that woman in that. Because it's like, there's certain things, it's right, wrong is wrong type energy. Just like if there was a black man getting, and a whole group of black women was just dogpiling on a black man, oh, you this, I wouldn't be mad at another black man going, hey man, leave him alone, bro. Y'all doing too much. There's a time and place, but when it's something as simple as you just didn't like it, I don't know. I feel like that's a gray area for me.
Not liking something can be, for them it was disrespectful for what he said.
Okay.
It was like the audacity, like the nerve. Like, what do you mean you don't like, or what do you mean you don't prefer short hair? We keep saying don't like because, we keep trying to say prefer, but because that's what he said, preference. Yeah. He prefers longer hair.
Right.
But hey.
I kind of like the statement, girl's girl. It's like, you lot are women. Women should have their own voice, their own mind, their own opinions, right?
I think that.
Most of the time on the show, when a comment is made by a man, one woman doesn't agree with it, then everybody pops. Yeah. It's kind of like they follow each other. And it happens a lot, right? And these are the type of conversations that we need to have in order to fix these things. We have to have them. If we don't talk about these things, it will never get fixed. So
my only thing with this, if we are going to call out the sisterhood, because it happens a lot, we do need to also address the brotherhood. Because it happens, especially if you guys go back and watch the Dr. Elam era of those videos and all of that, the brotherhood was 10 toes down.
They was
deep. They sat there and cooked a chick for a whole episode, and then when she got to Dr. Elam, he was like, yeah, you need to practice how to be humble. After she just got roasted by like 8 dudes.
That was pristine gaslighting.
Yeah, so it's like, I feel like we need to address all these factions realistically, because like I say on this channel, and this is why a lot of people, y'all rock with what we say, is because we're going to be keeping it 100. It's the men and the women. They both are wrong.
I said it from day one. I'm not a girl's girl. I'm not going to band with you because we're the same gender and all that other kind of stuff. It has to make sense. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Like when you go and follow people blindly because you have similarities, anything can go past you at that point.
Yep.
So when somebody does something wrong and outrageous, like what the last young lady did on the previous Pop the Balloon, a lot of women didn't see a problem with how she conducted herself, how she roasted that man, this, that, and the third. Girl. Like, that don't make no sense. Well, men do it all the time. It doesn't matter. We're talking about in this moment with this individual. The point is,
nobody should be doing it.
Nobody should be doing it. We're individuals first.
Yep.
What I'm trying to say is that, why is it that so many women bounce off each other and then they say, yeah, I'm a girl's girl. I'm a girl's girl. As if like to make it seem like I understand what they're going through because you relate to them and stuff like that. But realistically, it's like, you're looking for a man, you're looking for a husband.
Right.
Right. So why do so many of you feel like you have to back each other up, be on the same team, when certain conversations have nothing to do with you?
Because we're each other's villages before men.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I can say this, and I mean, like, it's no offense to Rebel. When I decided to pop my
gang, you keep... Hey, bro, I just noticed, bro, you keep throwing that parlay at Rebel, bro. Like, what's up? Like, it's, no offense to Rebel, no this to Rebel. It's like, yo, gang, leave her out of this.
And I mean, like, it's no offense to Rebel. When I decided to pop my balloon, it was for me. Like, it wasn't to back up Rebel in that case. It was a decision that I made. I don't need... And we all popped our balloon at the same time on our episode. Other episodes I can't speak on. So it's not something to where I feel like I had to come to her rescue. And like I said, for me, I felt like I could empathize, or I could see myself in her shoes. So I thought about myself, and that's why I popped. I really hope I'm articulating myself well.
I understand what you're saying.
I understand. Like, I feel
I don't see a problem with empathizing, but empathizing to a point where it becomes your own talking point, that even though the talking point no longer even has you in it, that you're willing to die for it. It's like, you got to empathize, yes, but you also have to know a boundary of, like, don't fight fights that you're not really all the way in. Don't halfway fight fights. Because then you can end up doing more damage to the cause you're fighting for than helping it.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this. With the whole sisterhood thing, we got to be real on this too. A lot of times when the women are on the lineup, I'm going to be real. I genuinely feel like sometimes there's a strong comparison when it comes to being amongst other women. So when you see a woman of a different stature than you pop her balloon over a man that, did something or said something, and you're the woman that's willing to take it, you then become the outcast of the sisterhood.
Yeah.
Let's be real about that.
Yeah.
Because even with me saying I'm not a part of the sisterhood thing, this and blah, 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 there's a lot of women in the beginning, when I first hit the scene with KiteZz, a lot of women did not like me. Oh, she's not a girl's girl. She's not a part of the sisterhood. She's this, and this. She lets her husband do this, and that. I got outcasted. Because I didn't agree with the rhetoric, and I didn't agree with the pandering. I didn't agree with the tactics that certain women do when it comes to the sisterhood. It's a lot of trial and error and a lot of comparison and contrast when it comes to dealing with other women. So when you say like, oh, I put myself in her shoes, you're comparing yourself to her. Thus, you you get the same results as her. Mm-hmm. Because y'all want to relate so bad to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Look, a girl's girl is kind of like... Dang, I don't know if I have a good... A girl's kind of like if a guy does a girl, like, wrong in a way, and then she tries to come to, like, her rescue. But
yeah,
I think...
the little things. I feel like the little things, girls, okay, we understand it. But when it comes to big decisions as a woman, you should not be trying to be in the same bubble with the same women and saying, yeah, we're backing each other up, when you're out here looking for a husband. You're not out here trying to make friends, you know, and fight other women's battles because you're a girl's girl. You know, that's not how it should be.
Okay, from my perspective, when all that was happening, like after the comment was made and everyone popped and they spoke on why they popped, I never thought that this was for me. Like, I guess I just think bigger than that. And it was like, of course that big reaction wasn't for some woman they just met. Like, when someone's having a big reaction, it's based on themselves and their past experiences. So I was just thinking that they felt it for themselves rather than for me, you know?
Okay. So obviously, this is the thing about people don't understand, people that watch. In the studio, it's completely different. Like, what's going on there, you know, so many emotions is running, so many people are like, oh, what do I say, what do I not say? You know, the lights, the cameras. But then when you get out of that environment, it's kind of like, okay, you watch it back, you kind of reflect and say, oh, I didn't think that it would go down like this. You know, like you said, Rebel, like you didn't think it was for you, right? But how it looks like when people watch it, it just looks like everybody was backing you up. Mm-hmm. Do you get what I'm saying? That's how it looks. But that's why we have these podcasts and conversations to kind of clear up things, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me say this. So Rebel, you know, you mentioned that you didn't feel it was for you. On one end, you have women speaking for you. And what I find that is interesting is that women tend to let other women speak for them, right? As men, if someone speaks for me, I'm going to shut it down because those aren't my words, right? So
y'all do it too.
Nah,
y'all do it too.
I'm going to keep it a stack. I'm going to keep it a stack, bro.
Y'all do
I'm going
it
to keep
too.
it a stack, bro. This is where I be feeling like we be disingenuous.
Yeah.
Because I can say everything that women do towards men, there's a group of men that do it right back to women, and we don't ever seem to own up to it. And this is why I get so much backlash. And it's like, bro, I'm going to keep it a stack with y'all. Y'all don't sleep with me at night. Y'all don't sign my checks. Y'all don't make sure I'm good. I don't give a crap about this fake internet unity thing that y'all got going. Let's keep it a stack. A lot of the same things that y'all call out women for, y'all do the same. And y'all don't want to admit it, and y'all get mad when another man says it. And it's like, bro, I ain't got a problem arguing with y'all back and forth about it. Because at the end of the day, y'all don't put no fear in my heart. So it's just a matter of, bro, there has been plenty of times where a woman has came on this show and did something towards one man and all the men unified against the women. It's happened in plenty of these episodes. So it's like, why are we being disingenuous? You can still make your point without being disingenuous. And I feel like that's why there's such a huge divide that be coming out in these comment sections, is because there's a lot of guys that be in there like, oh, the men get this, the men get this, the men get this, the men get this. But then I'll even ask them in the comments, all right, the men did this, but what is your opinion on the behavior that the men demonstrated at this point in the video? That's not the point.
No, that crap be so annoying because it's like, and that's what I be saying, like, people will go in the comments and say, well, women be doing this, men be doing this. Okay, but we're talking about this specific incident with these group of individuals. We're not talking about all the experiences that you went through with Jill, Sil, Bill, whatever the case may be, in all the history of your existence. We're talking about this particular incident with these people. Okay? Exactly. No, it don't apply. All right, let it fly.
Yeah, it happens a lot, man.
I have an image and I have my own thoughts, right? And I'm fully capable. So if I hear something that I didn't say, I don't want someone to perceive something I didn't say or misinterpret something I didn't say, because it also is a reflection on my character.
Yeah, that's true.
So
you know what? You guys want to see a perfect example of what I'm talking about? Of the men doing the brotherhood thing? Where is it at? It was the homeboy from New York, bruh.
With
he had
the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he like
this episode with Braylon. There's a prime example of that. Yeah. And a lot of people didn't like that we wasn't on Braylon's side and all that. This episode was full of that.
Yeah.
Just like this episode. Episode 16, episode 18. These are both prime examples of the brotherhood in these episodes. And it's like, when I hear y'all say, oh, the men don't do that, the men don't do that, I can't believe you, bruh.
Yeah. Now, if you're new to Pop the Balloon and this is your first episode, then yeah. You need to, because statistics say otherwise.
It was interesting seeing your video, as you spoke to, you thought that this was about themselves. However, there were several times, where she literally looked down at you and said, how can you talk about this woman's hair?
Yeah.
And, you kept quiet. Now, you don't owe me anything to defend the comment or to reply or anything. But I think part of what BM says when, he's alluding to a girl's girl is that you're also enabling it because you're allowing them to think this is how you felt. This is what the comment was about. When in reality, it had nothing to do with that, or you didn't take it that way.
Right. But like I said, for me, I was like, this is not about me. I'm going to stay out of it. And like I also said, from mine and yours interaction, I didn't think much of you, not good or bad. It was just like this. After you spoke with the other women in the line and said like, no, the body type, and didn't give one compliment while they were giving you compliments, like, I felt like there was that lack of empathy. At that point, I just felt like, yeah, I'm not going to go put myself out there for this guy. If it were someone like the first guy who came out, who was super sweet and like complimentary, if he would have made that comment and they all popped on him and then he was kind to everyone, I mean, I just think it would have been different.
Okay, so she's saying because I get what she's saying. Because but then again, it's also based off of like, after he got that type of reaction with Sandy, it's like, I imagine I wouldn't have much positive to say towards the rest of the lineup anyway. But then again,
he was saying that before Sandy though.
Right, that's what I was leading back to. I do see what she's saying about how, like, even though the women were like, yeah, he looks nice though, it's this. He was just like, yeah, body type, move on. The hair, move on. I get what she's saying, but he's also not entitled to give you compliments.
No, he's not. It would be nice. It'll be,
Yeah, it'll be a courteous thing to do.
It is courteous.
But you like, we're acting like this is not him being rejected though. Like, y'all popped on him. He didn't pop on y'all. He doesn't owe y'all compliments for y'all rejecting him. That don't make sense. It don't matter if you pop in my face and then say, oh, you're a handsome man. I don't owe you yeah, you're beautiful as well. I don't owe you that. You rejected me. He didn't pop on anybody.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of when people say, oh, thank you, and no one said, they don't say you're welcome back. Some people get offended by it.
Yeah, well, that's rude. That's rude. If somebody says thank you, say you're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, I that's rude.
I thought that applied with being courteous.
Yeah. No. But there's like, I feel like there's gray areas to everything that we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I feel like if somebody says thank you, no, say you're welcome. Now, if they say thank you 30 times, you don't have to say you're welcome 30 times. The first time, the second time, the third time, you good. But if it's somebody, and this is your first interaction, it's like, thank you for your help. And your response is, then it's like, you're rude. Say you're welcome, bro. You just move on.
Yeah, and then I probably would have said something.
So what do you women think is going on in this generation when it comes to, when women they like, a lot of women are very strict, right, in their preferences,
by other people's
and
perspectives.
they don't really want to give a lot of men chances. Do you think that could be holding them back?
I mean, I feel like, yeah, I of course it is. I feel like it's not just women too. It's like men. And I mean, I'm first gen Nigerian. I have a Nigerian mom, and sometimes we talk and she like tells me like, okay, come on, like be serious.
So actually, let me ask you, what did your mom think when she saw you on the show? Let's hear it.
Oh, I don't even think she knew I was on the show. I'm not going to hold you. My mom is in Nigeria right now.
All right.
They watching out there. She probably knew.
I really don't know if she saw the show. And I was planning on talking to her about it too to see if she saw it. But she's, she's worried about the chaos of Nigeria. She's not worried about what's going on over here. But
Hey,
to
shout out
bring
to
that up,
Nigeria. Y'all
I
be
say
safe.
to say,
Yeah,
like,
praying for y'all.
I do have my mom that I talk to about it sometimes, and I'm still learning to understand, when certain preferences I should and should not overlook, or when to like give people a chance. So I really think that maybe it just falls down to having like that older person or that mentor or someone who is like married to be able to like talk certain thoughts through about a person and then see if they can.
No, they don't care about that.
Nah, because they don't want to hear from married people.
They don't want to hear married people's perspective.
Because the second a married person says, I'm going to be real with you, that preference, that standard you got, it's, yeah.
I got dudes that been single. I'm gonna throw this shade. I got dudes that been single for 18 years telling me I need to shut up. I don't understand anything. But it's like, I got the ring. I got married. It's like me saying my input is only to help you. Because it's like, a lot of y'all don't realize, a lot of people don't like what I gotta say, but if y'all were married, y'all would understand a lot of the points that I'm saying comes from stuff you actually learn in marriage. It's like a lot of the bullheadedness that I had as a guy, empathy is something you gonna need in a marriage, and a lot of y'all don't want to practice it, and it's cool, but just know, when I be hearing these dudes call me simp and all that stuff, and that's why you this and all that, it's like at the end of the day, bro, me and you will never be the same, bro. You go to sleep cussing out women all day. I go to sleep hugging my wife. We are not the same, little bro. We'll never be the same, little bro. But hey, that only goes to the people I'm targeting that too. You feel what I'm saying? It's not towards every single guy that disagree with me. I'm talking about exclusive people. So if you feel like you caught a stray, my fault, OG. It wasn't towards you. I'm being very direct at a certain group of people. All right?
And give them that advice. Maybe some people just don't really have that person to fall back on. I know for me, like there's some things where I'm just like, oh, like I'm not sure. But what I can say though is that my mom gave me advice once, and she said like, give something a try. When I'm like talking to the guys that I'm talking to, even if there's some things that you don't like, give it a try and then go from there. So I basically say all that to say that maybe they don't really have that community or that village to fall back on for more advice, before they decide to just cut someone off.
Yeah.
So
nothing beats a fail but a try.
Good. That's a good point. Rebel?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're kind of specifically referring to on Pop the Balloon, the preferences we see.
I mean, we're just talking as a whole, like, the dating pool right now. Why some of the people are struggling in this.
Yeah, well, I do think a lot of people are using dating apps, and I do think that for a lot of people on the dating app, like, they're being extra specific because they have this giant pool to choose from. I think there are quite a few, I'll just say, quite a few people where it's like, okay, if they meet a guy in person and they chat with him and he's super sweet and he's shorter, they may actually be open to it, versus if they see him on an app because they have this big pool and they don't get the depth. So maybe to that point, I'm thinking that having dating apps and so many options could be part of the reason why like people are being so specific in what they want.
Can be, yeah.
No,
right, okay.
Yeah.
And Tessie?
Yeah. So I think there's a whole host of things that, have really damaged the dynamics. And, obviously I would say, of course, just having too much access has made people not really appreciate sort of the fundamentals of dating, and just appreciating people for who they are, because they're always looking at, what's unattainable, essentially.
Right.
And also, I think there's what I found to be a very common theme is that when men are essentially in a position to, I guess, really court a woman, it's time after time I see a guy who has been a gentleman, who's been very nice, very pleasant. In fact, the first guy, I thought he was really cool guy, and all of a sudden, he's labeled, I think we're more friends. Right.
Yeah. Bro, we just said that. Oh my god. We just said that, bro. We just said that on the last reaction. Every time, bro. I don't know what it is, and still nobody is giving me an answer for that. And I understand Because I don't think there is an answer.
No, I just think when people want what they want, they'll make a pool of excuses to not go for something that they need. They'll make a pool, because if you tell me I want this, and this, and I tell you, but listen, you should probably try it like this, and this, because if this is not working for you and you've been doing it this way now, why not bend it a little bit? Why not try something different? Well, it's because, and you come with a plethora of excuses why you can't change that habit, why you can't try something different, why you're the reason. When you're sitting up here asking the why, well, why haven't I got this? You're the reason. You're stopping yourself.
I think it's also because I think everybody's points is valid.
Yeah.
With the dating apps and stuff, it has the dating apps and even the dating shows, speed dating, it has gone to a point that the preferences that we get from what we see on social media supersede what we really need. Right? Because it's like we'll listen to a lady describe that she needs a husband, a protector, somebody that can provide, somebody that can love her, give her children, and be God-fearing. And then she'll meet that, but then she'll go and reject that. She'll reject the same thing she just described because, I don't want to be the girl that's seen with a short guy. I don't want to be the girl that's seen with a light-skinned guy. I don't want to be the girl that's seen with the burly man or the too skinny man. But then it goes vice versa too. A guy will describe, I want a godly fearing woman. I want a woman that can be a support system, that can cook and clean, that can be a nurturer for my future children. And they'll meet that. You're perfect. You match everything I described, but I want my women to be a little bit, smaller. I want my women to be a little taller. I want my women to be, it's like the preferences, we're giving the preferences too much weight versus reality.
And I think a lot of people don't realize is your preference, you can make your preferences your God. Ooh. You can make preferences idols.
Yep.
You guys, people are constantly worshiping the fact that, I gotta have a tall man. I gotta have a slim, thick woman. I gotta have a man that look like this. I gotta have a woman that look like that. And you make that you essentially, and that's not you. That's not you. That's just what you like. That's what you desire.
Right.
God will give you give you the desires of your heart up to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. If it's not what you really need, a woman with a slim, thick woman, what is that going to do for you? Other than intimate wise. What is that going to do for you?
Y'all be getting these slim, thick women, but y'all don't look at all the other traits. Y'all be looking at these super tall dudes, but y'all don't be looking at their other traits. It's like, y'all need to focus on the important traits that these people are bringing and then focus on after.
Yeah, you could be blinded by your desires and it'll stump you in the face.
And so there's also a point that just seems that sometimes women are looking for things that are just unattainable. And, you see it all the time from some of the things that I think are truly just very picky, right? Versus, really appreciating, a lot of the more things that bring substance to the relationship.
Okay. I don't think it's just women. I think both parties find things that are
both parties do
unattainable or like.
But here's the thing, right? Would you agree that in most cases you're being approached by a guy versus you're approaching a man?
No.
Yes. Usually guys approach me. What? Ask the question.
So, Rebel, you're saying you approach men more often than they approach you?
I think kind of 50-50. I think men approach me, but it's often not. I think the type of guy that I'm into is more shy and less likely to approach me. But I do have a question.
That wasn't the question. That wasn't the question. Like the goalpost got moved there, right? I'm with them that it's both. I'm 100% with them that it's both, but that still did not answer his question. He asked, who's approaching more? Are you approaching men or are men approaching you? If your answer is the guys I want don't approach me, then that doesn't change the fact that men are approaching you.
I genuinely feel like it's men approaching women and
more
often. And I say this because you see how even with the dating shows, you see how women spit game towards men or like try to flirt with men, you can tell those type of women are being approached and they're not the ones approaching. And there are a handful of women that do approach, like I approach Kite. There are a handful of women that do approach the men and, you know, shoot their shot and stuff like that. But 9 times out of 10, it's a man pursuing after the woman because that's how it's been told in history and that's how it's always been.
If you look at which group flirts the most, men flirt very different from women because men are the ones that gotta do the attacking to try to get on the court.
Yeah, it's a marathon for men.
Yeah,
they gotta do it for centuries.
I just saw a post where a woman, the way this woman flirted, I'm telling you not, and this is on TikTok.
It was crazy.
The way she got mad on TikTok, and she said, "Yeah, I saw a guy, he was really handsome. And so I felt, you know what? I'm going to do something new. I said, oh, you're really good looking. I might just let you take me out to lunch."
Oh, that TikTok.
That was her actual statement. "You look so good. I might just let you take me out to lunch."
Like it's
and
a
the dude stopped talking to her, and she was like, "Bro, these men are so hard to get." And it's like, bro, that's not attractive at all. I look good, so I need to go buy you food now? I have permission to buy you food? Like, that's crazy. That's not how you flirt at all. You feel me?
Percy, what were any of the women in the lineup, like, would you have not popped on any of them?
Wait, hold on.
And likely to approach me. But I do have a question. Tercy, what were any of the women in the lineup, like, would you have not popped on any of them? Because it seemed like none of us were really your type.
Well, you know, obviously I hadn't had a chance to ask you all questions, right? So I was the one that was essentially came out, you know, gave a little information about myself. And then from there, you know, made the comment and then that was it. So, of course, when I come out, the only thing I have to go off of is physical. You know, I value health and wellness. I mentioned it, you know, in 2 different ways when I came out, right? So, of course, when I come out, I'm going to look for someone that is physically attractive because that shows a lot in terms of someone who takes care of themselves, right? And some of the standards that I have for relationship dynamics and if I was to ever want to have kids. So, you know, that's all I have to go off of. Now, if I were able to ask you all questions and get to know you, then that's just another deeper layer that I'm uncovering that gains me more attraction. You know, I made a mention to you at the end that, you know, if we're together and, you know, and this could be anyone, if I'm with someone and something comes up such as them losing hair.
I ain't gonna lie, Tercy, you didn't answer the question though.
Yeah, because that didn't answer whether or not you were attracted to any of the women. Were you attracted to any of the women on the lineup?
Buddy.
Would you not have popped on certain women? Yes or no? Like,
it's like I said, what he's saying, okay, this is valid, but that's not the question. That's not what she asked you. Was there any woman that you would not have popped the balloon on? Because the whole thing of not popping the balloon, you didn't get a chance to pop anybody. But if you had a chance to pop, is there a woman that would have been able to keep her balloon based off of what you were given on the show? And I get the whole, I got to get to know you, blah, blah, blah. But to get to know that person means that they still have that balloon. So is there anybody on the show who you would have liked to get to know a little bit more of information of? Like, you're not answering the question.
Based on the physical, because that's all you had to go off of.
Right.
So,
which is also one of his key preferences, the physical.
Yeah.
So would anybody have made it to stage 2? That's what she's asking. And he just completely is not answering it.
Yeah.
There are these extreme cases, right? We would have already gotten to know each other. There would be a deeper connection. There would be an invested time, right? Where it's not about something so superficial, right? So, you know, that would never be a case, you know, where all of a sudden I'm just looking to get rid of or get out of the relationship because of something so superficial. But in that moment, you know, it was all I can go off of was just the physical because I hadn't had much conversations or engagement with any of you.
So
right. And just
he didn't answer. He didn't answer.
I just don't think he's gonna give them the satisfaction of telling them who he was probably attracted to, but
I feel like don't ask people questions and then expect people to give you an answer if you're not going to answer their questions when they ask you it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Because he asked a couple questions in here and they didn't give good answers at all. And they did the same thing he did, right? They did the same thing. They answered every way but the direction. But at the end of the day, If I gotta call them out for not answering the question right, I gotta call you out. You didn't answer their question.
Just to kind of end it off as well, I will say that all of you are very mature. Like, you lot are very mature, and it's good that we can all speak, because I want to bring, KiteZz back on the show, and Tercy. Definitely bring you lot back on the show. Rebel as well. We're waiting to see you on your catch up to see what's going on over there. Just to kind of wrap it up, I do want to say that, listen, me, I don't mind makeup. I don't mind, weave or any of that. I don't mind. But some men mind, and that's perfectly fine.
Right.
You are allowed to have your preferences. Now, women, whenever you hear of a man making his preferences, respect it, understand it, and try to not just bounce off each other and say, oh yeah, I'm a girl's girl, let me go. Because that is what's keeping a lot of you women single.
No, that's fine.
You are not here to fight other women's battles. You feel me? Like, we understand that you might be affected by it, but that whole segment, he wasn't trying to come at you. And I feel like we just have to try to understand each other. So these are just...
But I agree, but then it's like, we have to be able to understand why men do the brotherhood. We have to be able to understand why women do the sisterhood. And I think that's the part that keeps getting left out in these conversations. We're not addressing why each group does what they do.
We're constantly on defense. We deal with the defenses of the offenses of like what the world showers on us, and then we have to deal with the offenses that's within our own community. And so we're constantly fighting or constantly trying to defend ourselves against one another and other people.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
I feel like no matter how good conversations go, until you guys start addressing the root issues, and until both sides can admit the stuff that they do, we're never going to progress. As long as we have women that say, but men do this, and we got to be this because the men, and then we got dudes across the ocean going, because the women are this, and we got to do, as long as we keep doing that and nobody's actually coming together to say, all right, this is the concerns that the men have been hearing, I want you to hear it out. And a woman goes, this is the concern that the women have been having, I want you to hear it out. And both sides can say, okay, I can see what you're saying, I understand why it is what it is. This is what we could do better, this is what you could do better. But as long as it keeps going, well, women, we have this concern that men do this. Y'all do it first. Yeah, we're never gonna progress.
We're having a conversation. You can't have a conversation while you're talking and you're not listening.
Yeah.
So it's like both sides are talking, doing all the talking, and nobody's listening. There's no accountability. There's no empathy. There's no sympathy. There's no understanding. There's no healing. There's no growth. It's just the same regurgitated, like, y'all been saying the same stuff. And my grandparents is like, we didn't have none of these problems when we was coming up. I don't know what's going on with y'all. Like, it's tiring.
I want to challenge y'all, and I know this might be a crazy challenge because a lot of people are not going to get past the first thing because they didn't like that. They're not going to like what we're saying because they're not going to listen. I understand this, right? I want to challenge y'all though. Let's see, even in this comment section alone, because a lot of people are not going to get to this point, but those that see this, I want y'all to look at the comments when this video comes out. Let's see how many times a comment actually addresses both sides doing something wrong, or look how many times it's going to be men talking about how they're being wronged and women talking about how they're being wronged. But let's see which sides are going to actually talk about like both issues in their comments. I challenge y'all to do that. I guarantee you it's not going to be a lot. And you're going to know because you're going to see some edited comments too. It's going to say edited at the top. That means they switched up. Yeah. But that's just what it is.
And the reality is we're both being wrong. So we're both being wronged. Let's heal from it.
We need to be on the same page.
Let's have a conversation. Because a lot of stuff that I've learned about men, it wasn't by me having to go experience a whole bunch of different men and stuff like that. I just had to talk to him. And vice versa. Like, and it took a lot. Not the talking is not the hard part. It's listening. Listening is the hard part, and getting your feelings out of everything that somebody else says that's the opposing point of what you feel.
Mm-hmm.
We're derived by our feelings. That's the problem.
Some of the things that we need to sort out in order for us to fix things. And that's why having these conversations is so important. You know, do you guys have any last final things to say before we leave?
I do. It was just picking back off something that you just said, and I hope it makes sense with everything that's going on. But I remember thinking for myself before the show, and I just started watching Pop the Balloon like this year. Like I want to say I watched it like for a month, and then that's when I applied. And I saw a lot of guys saying comments about like, oh, she has too much makeup. She has too much makeup. And I remember like the morning of the show, I was really like debating on like, should I put on a lot of makeup or not? I'm not gonna lie, like I'm a glam girl. I love makeup. It makes me happy. I feel at peace when I do my makeup. And I was like, I don't want to go on the show and then a guy like doesn't think to talk to me because I have on too much makeup. But I also can't help myself for being myself too, you know? So like I like kind of set myself up thinking like ideally if me having up too much makeup is like not his preference or he's just not a fan of it, then I just know that person's not for me. So I think I say that to say like when you hear other people's preferences and stuff like that, for me I just use it as a reassurance like, well, maybe you're just not my person anyways, and that's fine too. So
yeah, that's how she has to look at it, because there are a lot of dudes that, bro, I even said in the video with this video right here, and I'm like, well, he said he wanted a physically fit woman, and I pointed out some women who were physically fit, and I had people be like, yo, but you're fat. You don't know what physically fit is, so you can't have an opinion on what you think a physically fit woman is. And it's like, what are we talking about, bro? It's like y'all don't like people's opinions because they're different from you. If I say something's physically fit, then that's what I got the right to say. Just because you think physically fit is another thing, that's what it is. But it's people that make these comments like that who say like, my opinion's this and this is what it is, and yo, you got too much makeup on, women should stop wearing makeup. It's like, okay, what if they don't want to stop wearing makeup? They're the problem there. It's like, bro, just because you don't like makeup does not mean it's the forbidden jutsu that women wear makeup.
It amazes me how easily triggered people get on the internet, and I don't think a lot of people really see when they make comments like that, like their insecurities and how they feel is just like, it's just spewing all over the internet. So to make a statement because you're fat, you know nothing about fitness is crazy.
Like I'm not a whole athlete.
like you what? Didn't do track and field. Like you didn't do football. Like what the freak? Like I wasn't in ROTC for 3.5 years. Like what the freak is going on? Like I didn't play basketball. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do for every dude that constantly calls me, like says that I don't know nothing about healthy and all that stuff. It's like, bro, if y'all don't understand how working 16 hours a day can do negative effects to your body when you're working through night and all that, and you're sleeping for 4 hours a day, and you do that for 8 years, if you don't understand how that affects the body, then I'm cool. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just do a stream, and I'm gonna just wear all my medals. I'm gonna just wear all my medals and put all my trophies in the background, and then put, by the way, athlete, by the way. I'm gonna just do that, because maybe that's what people need to see, bruh. It wouldn't matter. Okay. I wouldn't even give them satisfaction of that.
Rebel?
No, I don't really have anything to add.
Okay. And Tessie?
Yeah, no, I'll just say, I think it's important that just on both sides, you really seek to understand. You don't always have to agree. Mm-hmm. But if you understand that lies where, we can kind of all move forward happily, because I think when you kind of taint the waters by mm-hmm. assuming, and, the influence starts to spread, I think it also taints others' perceptions and their decisions.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that could cause them, potentially a mate that they're looking to find. So, just moving forward, I would just say people need to just, seek to understand and not so much try to be right.
Right. And the whole point of the show is to find love. Trust me, everyone. When you find your person, none of these things matter. None of these little things matter. You will not even be speaking about these little things because you'll be happy in love and you'll be moving on. All right, so is there anything else that you want to say? Maybe you, Kisu, Rebel, you want to say to Tercy? Anything else before we leave?
Yeah. I mean, I'll just say to like Tercy, you're allowed to have your preferences, so I hope like me popping my balloon and maybe I was a little feisty with all the things I said too, so I could
just say
Is
my
that
bad,
an apology?
Just say my bad, bro.
Why is it so hard to apologize?
Just say my bad, bro.
Well, we're going to let her finish because maybe we jumped the gun.
Hey, here's how you do it. Hey, Tercy, KiteZz apologize for assuming that you like white women. There you go. Just say my bad, bro. It's cool, dog. Just say my bad.
could have helped that. But I hope what I said does not like diminish you in any way, shape, or form. You're allowed to have your preferences, and yeah, baby, me and you are just not meant to be, but you'll find your queen eventually.
That's
Is that an
a good way
apology
to ask
that
for forgiveness.
here and there?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, the
You was real hesitant on that.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope that's how it comes off. I just have a personality on me. It really is like I do apologize.
That's good. That's good.
Listen, that's fine. I mean, obviously, I don't get offended either, you know. And I appreciate the apology, but at the end of the day, I think everyone is allowed to have their opinions. But I think just again, as I reiterate all the time, you know, it's just important to at least understand what people are saying rather than just quick to, you know, make a judgment, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. And
Rebel,
any last things you want to say?
No, I mean, I guess for me, I kind of do feel like I'm not super. I feel like I'm kind of less involved in the whole thing.
Yeah. You was all the way down the line. You wasn't. She was.
All right.
I need y'all to run them clips back when she was.
Nah, it's all good.
She was.
Yeah, we just go.
Okay,
stop,
but all right.
Gonna stop it right there.
But it's okay.
We just gonna stop it right there. Hey, man, look, man, this was a interesting video. A lot of talking points. A lot of people not gonna like it. A lot of people gonna like it. I don't give a crap as long as you guys are commenting, and subscribing, and put God first. You feel what I'm saying? So, with that being said, anything else you need to say, my dear?
No, just be kind to one another.
Hey.
Be respectful to one another. Be understanding. Listen to each other. And if you cause offense towards someone, ask for forgiveness. That's all I got to say.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Bye.